Monday. Kind of happy Monday. I'm back to work after having my bear camp set up for the last 6 or 7 days. Had a blast. The weather was crap. It was a good time. If you remember back in, September or so, I did an episode with Kenny Markwardt on our elk hunt, and it was a great hunt. I had a lot of fun hunting with Kenny. He's a good dude. He's a relatively new bow hunter, and so he joined me this year at Spring Bear Camp. I've got some bait set up, and we had a good time. Kenny was struggling with continuing bow hunting. He was, he's a kind of a new bow hunter, and he's had a couple of misses last fall on some bulls, and he was really frustrated. So, great topic for a podcast. Great guy to share a camp with, and listen in. It was a fun hunt for sure. Towards the end, like I said, I had I had like 6 or 7 days to hunt, and the last 2 days I grabbed my son and brought him up, trying to get him a bear with his rifle. And I'll tell you, I'm not looking for a pat on the back. This is encouragement for those that struggle with balancing your time, because it is a struggle. It's a struggle for me. So I just want to tell you guys, you're not alone. I was really, really stoked to get it done on a bear this spring, and I had to take the last 2 days and had my son with me, and it was all about him. So I got to be honest with you, I struggle with that, and if you struggle with it too, you're not alone, because our legacy is not going to be punch tags. It's not going to be what we've done in the hunting world, for sure. Our legacy is our kids, and I struggle with it, but it's the right thing to do. So if you're out there and, you're trying to balance family and hunting, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. So it was a good episode. Had fun. Kenny's a good dude. Thanks to the sponsors for making this happen. The Footed Shaft, Selway Archery, Kifaru International, and of course Blackwidow Bows. June 18th, we're going to draw, maybe that's next week. I guess we're drawing that giveaway June 18th, and June 20th we're going to be live over on the Compton's Facebook page. I think we're wrapping up their virtual rendezvous, so come join us. We're going to do a live thing June 20th. I don't even know what time. I think 6 p.m. Be looking for it. That'll be fun. It's going to be way easier than the Monty thing. I was pretty stressed out when we did the live thing with Monty and Brian. Just hoping everything went off well, and it did. It was a big hit. So anyways, you guys, thanks for listening. Keep the comments coming. I enjoy it. Roger out. Oh, how about, speaking of cookies, we should have had a cookie before we started. I'm going to be hearing chewing on the...
Chomping away. We're getting kind of low, man.
Oh, look at what's in the bottom though.
I know.
All the wipings. You're not having one. You tricked me into having a cookie. You've been after me all week.
That sandwich I made was probably half a pound. Might have been a full pound of meat.
It's been pretty much shitty weather since we got here.
The first day was pretty good. The first day I remember we were talking about how it was going to be such a nice evening.
Oh, it was overcast, right? It was just overcast. And
yeah, but cool. And
yeah, cool. That's a relative term. Yeah, so we blasted up here. We set the baits on a Wednesday night, and it was hot. Yeah, I was in a t-shirt the whole time. And then we came back on Saturday morning. It was raining. We were loading up, or it was raining when I got up. Trucks got hot getting up here. And then we hunted that night. You'd already knew where the baits were.
Yep.
So yeah, I went out that first night, and let's see, I remember the order of it, but I had that black come in, and then that chocolate came in. I don't know that I had a shot at the
No, I would have shot the black one, but I must not have had a shot at it. And then that chocolate one came in. Didn't even know it was there. I turned around and it was on the bait, and I didn't shoot at it. I had opportunities, but I never shot it. And then what the heck? She got snorty, ran back, and then I was trying to figure out how to get out of there. I didn't realize we were going to stay light till 9.
Yep.
And I was like, man, now's the time to get out of here so I don't blow them out. So I skedaddled. Oh, and then when I was walking out, she was all popping her jaws and and all doing all kinds of stuff. It was kind of fun.
What time did you get out? You got out at like 8:15?
No, remember I got out at 7:30.
Oh, you got out earlier.
Yeah, and because I just thought, it's like whitetail. I don't want to blow something out. It was a good opportunity. I better skinny out of here. I didn't realize you still had another hour and a half. But then when we came back the next day and we checked the camera,
yeah,
that good bear was there 15 minutes after I left.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Yeah. No, because I got an inReach from you about how warm the tent was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like
tent's warm.
It's like, wow, night 1. He's calling it early. All right. This is going to be a mellow adventure here.
Yeah, there's no sense of getting excited. It's springtime.
But that first night was nice. I mean, I got a little bit cold, but it was like one of those just still.
Oh, that's right. When I got to stand that night, it was so still.
Yeah.
I thought, man, they're going to hear you breathe.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Yeah, no, so that was my first night in a stand ever. Like,
really?
Well, I'd hunted that one that I just found locally and killed a whitetail out of. But I just kind of climbed in there and was like, oh, must be a good spot. What do you know? Killed probably some kid's whitetail he'd been watching all season.
Yeah, 14 years old, lives for his one whitetail. Pictures of him all summer long. You saunter up. You probably never even set it. Right? You set the tree stand and you just saunter in there and bam.
Hey, there's one.
Sweet.
Nice buck.
We should tell everybody who you are.
Yeah.
So, if you listen to the last fall's episodes, like big backcountry bulls or big country bulls, Kenny Markwardt Kenny and I were hunting and we did a podcast, and so here it is, springtime, and I tricked him into going bear hunting.
That's right. And I thought I was never going to be invited hunting with you again.
Dude, you pack a lot, man. I'm like, hell yeah, anytime.
Yeah, I think that's, maybe I should start having have a little like Airbnb type, like you can book me a week.
Well, yeah, Travis and Matt were talking. I'm like, hey, oh, that big group text.
Yeah.
I'm like, stay away from my packer.
That's right. Well, because I got back from our trip.
That's packer, not.
I got back from our trip, packed that bull out. I think we'd been back 48 hours and got a phone call to go pack out their bull.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Was that Travis's?
That was
Travis's. Yeah.
At that point, I was the season of always a bridesmaid, never a bride. I'll just pack everyone else's meat out.
Until we changed that.
Yeah. I ended the season well. I shot a nice whitetail for me. So.
Was that the one from the stand? Was that this year?
Same spot, but not the stand.
The kid took his stand down. You didn't leave a gut pile at the base of the tree, did you?
I actually, that story is a lot more true than, as you joke about it. It's actually pretty accurate. I found out I know somebody that lives there. They back up to it. And this was, after I found that stand, killed that whitetail in there, I've been hunting in there since. And I sat in there 2 years ago on top of a big slash pile. And I'm sitting there and there's a kid kind of meandering his way. You see this orange hat bobbing through this thing. And it's probably 10 minutes to dark and he walks underneath me. I don't know if he didn't see me or didn't just ignored me or what. He walks out. As soon as he walks out, buck comes walking right out in front of me.
Really?
Yeah, really. And So there might be some. There might be an angry.
That was it last year. I was November. I was coming out of my whitetail spot. It's public land. It's national forest, and I walked by this deer. I'm walking this. I'm almost to my truck, and there's a deer laying on the side on the old logging road. Somebody just shot a deer, and I'm assuming went back to the truck. So I just keep going. It's just this little yearling. And then I run into this guy, and he's pulling a little cart, right? And so I get shooting the breeze with him, and he works for the Forest Service in the office or somewhere local. He works for the Forest Service. I don't know. Probably shouldn't even say this, but he said he sees me with my bow, and he's like, "Wow, what are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I always bow hunt." He's like, "Man, you just don't see deer around here." And I said, "Well, I just tree stand hunt. I just in a tree stand." He's like, the way he said it. And he'd already told me he was works for the Forest Service. The way he said it is that this wry grin. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw your tree stand. I got up in it. I hunted from it." Like, to prove that it's on public land. And it just grind on me, because I was like, first off, buddy, you didn't get to my tree stand.
Yeah.
Because not in that shape. My tree stand a long ways from here. And he was rifle hunting. There's just no way. So the conversation kept going, and he brings it up again. How he got in my tree stand. "Oh yeah, I saw it." And then I said, "Actually, no, I don't think so." And I said, "Where was it?" And he's like, "Oh, over in that big clearing." I said, No, that wasn't mine." "Oh, really?" He seemed a little disappointed. Just grind on me, like, "Hey, buddy, I know it's public land. You don't have to make it a point."
So yeah, that was my first night in the stand, really. And I've been gearing up for that. Like, just kind of, I've been I've been peppering you with questions.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Since I got invited on this trip, and then even more so since we drove in here. That's why we
that's why we took different rigs.
Yeah, that's right.
I need a break. Elijah.
I couldn't believe you asked me to sit next to you in the stand last night. Texting you questions. No, so that was cool though, because to try and play out the scenarios in your mind. What do you do? Like, so I've got a book in my hand. Is that going to make a racket when I sit it down? Can I eat snacks? The
I ain't going if I can't. I ain't going if I can't eat snacks.
The important stuff. So I sat over my bait, and I had one little chocolate bear come in at 7:45 or so.
Well, you must have been pretty stoked though, because you hadn't first time in a stand,
right?
And you already had probably 4 hours sitting there.
Yeah, at least at that point.
Did you see him coming, or did you just turn around and he was there?
I turned around and he was there at about probably 35 yards. I saw his head poking up, and he slowly made his way into about 20 yards or so. I never had he felt like a smaller bear to me, and I never really had a shot at him. So, but yeah, that was exciting because you sit there and you wonder, all right, and the other I'd never participated in the baiting of bears either, so I didn't know anything about that or what to expect, and I think there's some conceptions about probably what that looks like, and some bear bonanza going on. leave out some bait, and all the bears come wandering in. Pick one.
No, it's funny. 10 years ago, I would have never thought I'd bear bait.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my radar. I kind of turned my nose up at it, probably even. But actually, when I started my new job, I was bottom of the barrel for vacation. So I was like, man, I'm never going to hunt in September again. So then I thought, well, let's start getting serious about spring bear. So that's kind of what I did.
It's cool. I mean, one of the things that appealed to me about it was spending time observing bear, watching them and seeing what they do and how they react. And just over the last 2 nights, watching them, how wary they are, and how they kind of how much they use their nose, and which kind of paths they take, and what they do, and how they interact with each other. That was really neat. I've enjoyed the heck out of that.
I meant to point it out to you tonight when we were setting that other stand, or this afternoon when we were setting that other stand up. If you look at a bear trail, every paw goes in the same spot. Did you see that?
No, but I've heard that.
Yeah, and so when you walk down a bear trail, there might be, well, even in Alaska on like the tundra, like not tundra, but just moss, like there'll be impressions from decades and decades and decades of bears putting their feet in the same spot. That's why they were really easy to trap. But
there we go.
Yeah, those bears last night were pretty wary. Just the social activity. I told you that chocolate that came in the other day. I seen one other bear do it a few years ago, but as it closes in on the barrel, the last 10 yards. Well, there's 10 yards coming through the brush where you can see them, and she purposely nosed every single branch on the way in, checking to, assumably to the dominant bear in the area, like who else has been here. You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was night one.
And then, so as I'm waiting for you, Trent Wingard shows up with his kids. He said he was going to be out screwing around, so he might come up. So him and his boys showed up. I had a fire going, and I had that bag of peanuts. And I said to the kids, I'm like, I don't know, probably I'm guessing 6 and 10, something like that. The kids were. And I was like, yeah, you guys want some peanuts? Nah, they're all shy. Nah. I'm like, seriously, man, seriously. Man, they hit that bag. Those kids were having fun. Trent felt bad. It was funny. They were freaking piling on those peanuts. It was funny.
Yeah, you had a long
It was a very social
evening without me.
Yeah, it was a very social evening.
Came back, it was dark. You first of all sent me to the wrong stand.
Oh, that's right.
You sent me to the dry hole stand that you've got a drug grow operation going on at.
That's right. Yeah, last year when the drug enforcement it was some task force was reported that it was a grow operation. So our friend Matt was like, dude, you need to get that out of there. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
You grow up.
My grow operation. So what happened was I was baiting it last year. And this is like, nobody's up here this time of year.
No.
There's just nobody. And apparently I was coming out of the woods with a pack frame and a bucket in my hand, and getting on my four-wheeler and driving away, and some ultra marathon runner or whatever saw me and somehow assumed that it was a drug operation.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Guy in camo with a pack frame in northern Idaho. As you can see, this is very tropical weather up here. Marijuana, I'm sure, would grow nicely.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, apparently the state patrol waited till June or something, late June, to go up. Apparently, when my crops were going good or something, I don't know.
Flew over the helicopter, checked you out.
Probably spent some money coming up here for sure. And so then they asked Matt. And Matt was like, what's a bear baiter? All you had to do is ask me. Tell you what it is, the bear baiter.
So yeah, no, I went to that stand and then I made the decision. No, there must be bears over the other spot. Went over there, and that was the most eventful.
It was a good call.
Hey, well. And so what? Morning 2, we checked cameras, ran baits.
Yeah, there was nothing down on at the grow operation. There was nothing down there.
Just the normal drugs.
Yeah, and there's quality bears on that, but it's just not often. The wind is a little weird in there. I don't know what the difference is, but you'll get quality bears in there, but just not often.
So which begs the question, you sent me there night one.
Quality bears?
Definitely go there.
Quality bears?
The other, what we should probably mention, the voice I think I bring to you've had me on the podcast now, I think 3 times. We did a fitness one. and I bring the voice of like new bow hunter, new hunter, and so all this stuff is like kind of new, and so I'm in the like whatever, man, you should show me a bear, and so quality bears.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess we should. You know, you were asking about shot placement. You know, you'd killed something with your bow before, right?
Yep. Whitetail doe.
Okay.
But that was like private land. You know, it was not a. It was kind of a canned hunt.
It was Bambi.
As,
So it's Bambi.
no, that was a mature.
It was Bambi's mom.
That's right. Uh-huh.
So yeah, you were asking me about shot placement, and I recommended you listen to Clay Newcomb, his bear magazine
Bear hunting
podcast.
magazine. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
And yeah, he does a great job with the shot placement. And you were shooting a lot. You were practicing a lot.
Yeah. So, and back to the kind of rewinding a little bit. If you listen to the podcast that we did with the big backcountry bulls or whatever.
Yeah. So it's hard coming up with titles, man. Every week, really. I think I just titled one that's coming out Wednesday. It's just a mathematical equation. All it says is 5 times 20. That was it.
Good.
Yeah. There's a reason for it, but it's pretty lame.
I missed 2 bulls on that trip, and that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah. So the first one you missed. The second one you hit brush going in. It's a little.
Yeah.
It was a little different.
For sure. The first one was the first one was somewhat nerves, somewhat what I've pieced together. I was shooting my draw length was too short on that bow, and I was at full draw for quite a while, and my arm didn't come to like nearly full extension, and so I let off early. My point is it's not blaming the equipment, but as I found, since I lengthened the draw, like I can hang there, and it's a much different process.
We noticed that.
We noticed, yes.
Yeah, tonight, the other night, you were at full draw for quite a while.
But it doesn't. So, anyways, my point is, I took that as that was really frustrating for me. I've been hunting
the missing
4 years. The missing part,
missing,
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And that was tough. But in fact, I probably considered not doing this anymore. In general, but instead, I kind of went after it I went hard the other direction and said, all right, I'm going to take this much more seriously. And
so did you consider not doing it out of just frustration and wanting to punch a tag, or just wanting to punch a tag and archery is BS, or you were just frustrated with trying to get it done?
A little bit of both. When I was growing up, I played golf. I played a lot of golf, and it became it was more of a drag than it was uplifting. Like it wasn't like
golf.
Yeah, golf. And same
I'd concur.
Yeah, right. I still don't play golf, and I don't want to. And it was kind of the same thing where it was more of a drag. Like there was more bad moments than good moments, and I'm a very success-oriented person, and so to fail over and over and over, especially, I'd had seasons where you don't draw your bow, and that's a little bit easier. But then when you miss, I feel like I had so much. It was just like, man, this just isn't worth it anymore. Like I'm coming home in a bad mood. I'm taking time off work. I'm taking time from the family, and I'm coming home in a worse mood than when I left. Like, nobody's winning here. This is worse. And so I was just like, oh, maybe I should find a new hobby. Maybe I should just go further into fishing. I like fishing. It's easy. It's no pressure.
Well, you grew up in California, right?
That's right.
With you had no exposure.
No, right. So the adult onset hunting. We're kind of jumping around here, but moved up here 8 years ago. Started hunting a year after that. Picked up a bow 4 years ago, I think. And so all that to say, it was kind of a bummer. But so instead of saying screw it, I'm quitting, it was more I'm pushing, I'm going all in.
You weren't giving up.
No, I'm gonna spend the off season, shooting and learning and going even further down the rabbit hole. And so yeah, actually, when you had invited me on this, I think you said, "Are you gonna bring a bow?" I said, "Yeah, actually."
No, I probably told you were bringing a bow.
No, you
Saying rifle camp.
You asked, and I said, "No, I've been shooting. I've been shooting every day for the last month or so," and it was, so yeah, went down that path, but I did bring. There was a lot of like
Apprehension.
Yeah. Nerves and apprehension and pressure. Like I told you before, like I was losing some sleep on this thing as far as like it's like the wrong mindset for sure, but like what am I going to do if this happens again? If I miss again, or and that was why I was so interested in the shot placement, because I know how hard bears are to find, how to track and blood trail, and it's not a normal, for lack of a better definition. It's a harder.
Yeah, they don't leak. They don't leak as good.
No, and so it was like, man, what are you gonna do if you miss or you hit and we don't find? Like, are you done?
See, you know what? I didn't realize that you had that going on until after the shot. After the other night. But I guess I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know you were struggling with what last year. I mean, to me, it was that's last year.
Well, for sure, and I think, and
but I get it. Oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah, and I know that, and I probably said this during that podcast, but I know that in 5 years or something, or 2 or 3 years or whatever, I'm gonna look back and you think like that was a defining moment in a way of, like, instead of hanging it up, like I just went after it more, and you learn that it's not as big, like it sucks, but you have many more years to do that, and it's gonna happen again.
Well, you're gonna look back at that for years and go, that would have been the easiest elk pack I ever had. That's you're not gonna toil over the miss. You're gonna be like, wow, dang, we could have like went and dropped our packs at camp.
Well, that was serious. That was actually running through my head as I was going through my shot process, looking at that bull. I was like, this all makes sense, because I missed the first one. Yeah. We're sitting there damn near in the trail. And I was like, this all makes sense. I'm glad I missed the first one. Because Rob shot his, and now I'm going to shoot this one. We're going to be heroes. We're going to get out of here. It was a beautiful afternoon. We're going to pack this thing out with fantastic weather.
That was a big bull.
Yeah. That's kidding. Right. That was, your coaching is superb.
Yeah, I
Before
know.
that trip, you said to me, just don't miss. That's all I need. I probably still have the text. I just need you not to miss. All right?
Yeah.
And, as we set up on that one. Whoa.
That's a nice one.
Ooh, and there he goes.
Yeah, there were some dark moments after that.
Yeah.
Some dark moments.
No, we had some good conversations. I asked you, like, hey, man, like, should I keep doing this? Like, because you don't want to, there's no perfect scenarios. Like, things aren't always going to go great. You can practice and do all the things you want to do, but at a certain point, you kind of feel like, man, maybe I'm not. That was what I was running through my head leading up to this trip, is if this happens again, like 3 times in a row, maybe you just realize you're not the closer for the baseball. You're not the closer on the closing pitcher. Like, you're just not the guy they want to, like, you can start, you can do this, but like the pressure stuff, you're out. Like,
so you can shoot 3D, yeah. But you're just not a hunter.
That's all right. I'll shoot,
Hey, don't take it personal. My fly was down.
I was waiting for the right time to mention that.
Hello. Well, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, so it wasn't like, because I put in the work before last year, I put in the work before this, as far as like, it wasn't like I was like, well, maybe I should have shot my bow before we came out here. And, I know saying all this stuff too, like I said, it's like, I'm aware that stuff, it will happen again. And it's like, well, that's just a part of the deal.
Well, you haven't lost anything.
No.
I mean, that's tough.
Well, that's not true. With a rifle I have.
Yeah.
And that was leading up to this. The other part of that was I lost a bear. And I was with a rifle. And so we trailed that for Oh, a long time. And I'm still not convinced that that was not a dead bear. Just like after, like, I don't know. The trailing of bears is tough for sure. So, yeah, I'm like that. That was kind of weighing on me too. It's like, geez.
So we went when we checked baits and cameras and stuff yesterday. We rebaited, and it's tough when you have one bait. So we got 3 baits going up here. I've had 4 in the past. I just didn't do the 4th one. Just we were running out of time, and we got one bait that's just getting hammered, and it's kind of awkward. Like, hey, go sit on that one. Maybe that one bear will come back. Maybe tonight. Maybe.
Yeah. You asked me, are you going to shoot that little one if he comes back in? Yep.
And so I was like, well, why don't we just hang 2 stands here, and that way. I mean, even when one of us doesn't shoot, you're still at least seeing bears and having fun.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the plan.
Shivering together, huddling close.
Oh my gosh. Well. Yeah, mentally, it's got to be a mental thing because November, you gear up, go stand in a whitetail stand. I've done all-day sits in November and before, and I mean, you get cold, but there is something about the June. What is it? June 8th, 9th, something like
7th.
that.
Sorry, 8th. Yep, 8th.
And and you're up here, and I got the right clothes, but I'm shaking like a dog crap in a peach pit. I mean. Dang, it's cold. Right through you.
Yeah.
Whining about it.
No, it was really cold. It was.
How did we talk about that?
Oh, because we were sharing a stand, essentially. Not sharing a stand, but
we had 2 stands.
We were so cold.
You notice I put you on the wind side. So you're good wind block, lee side.
No, but the one thing I didn't like about that, the doubling up was I don't want a charity, like I don't want to be like, oh well, here you go, like I wanted you to shoot, like I was hoping that you would be shooter,
I was
and I
too.
did some sweet I
didn't
good.
care. I didn't care that you went.
No, right.
Oh,
good.
hell no.
And that was like, I wanted that to be a part of the equation, and so I was a little hesitant there, but anyways, we sat in the same thing, and Smokey's around.
So how did it start last night? That the chocolate bear came over the top.
Yep.
Up by that stump, and so this bait I've had for several years, and they generally the winds are very steady on these stands, very steady. They'll almost always come out of the same direction, and these bears will come over the top. Probably 80 yards, 100 yards.
Yep.
And you can see them up there. They come over the top. They're wind checking. And so last night that chocolate came over the top, was wind checking, and then circled, continued, and so we lost her for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then showed up behind the stand, and now it's getting ready. I can tell it's body language. So we forgot to say why the bear came in. Remember, it was really slow, and it was colder than heck, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down and knock that barrel around.
I think this was after that. I think we had a lull. I think we had a pretty long lull, and it rained, and then you went down and did your...
Oh, you're right. Okay. So this bear comes over the top, round behind us, steps up on so now I spot it. It's standing 60 yards from us on a log, and it's committed. I can tell it's coming in. I can tell its body language. There's no more wind checking. It's downwind or upwind of us. So she's going to pass by the stand at like 5 yards. And about the time she's ready to come, she spins around, and now I can tell something's got her attention down there, and then she blows and snorts and roars and takes off running across the hillside there. And not a minute later, that other chocolate, which you never saw that bear, that was cool, man. She was, the brown phase I see lots of here.
Yeah.
This was more like a mocha. A mocha, like a smoky heather latte.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger bear, and it was really a deep chocolate. Yeah, it was a pretty nice bear. And now it came kind of like the reverse. It was starting to circle. That's when the lull occurred then, right?
Yeah, it started raining.
So nothing
good
happened.
rain.
Oh, yeah, it rained. It was freaking
It was down
cold.
pants time.
Oh, down pants. Yeah, I was jealous, man. You had those Sitka down pants. I was jealous.
Yep, wrapped myself up in my human sleeping bag. I had my
Well, at least they were quiet. At least they were quiet. You know, that zipper.
I went down pants and muff, duck hunting muff. I was quite warm for like 20 minutes, and then it got colder. That was cold again.
Oh man, freaking! So after it quit raining and the fog set in, I was like, man, I'm just gonna go down there and beat that barrel around a little bit, make it sound like there's a bear on this. So I went down there, shook the barrel around, kind of banged it on the log a few times. Got back in the stand in 5 minutes.
Yep.
That chocolate came over the top again, and she wanted to come down bad. I got some good video.
Yep.
She was convinced there was a bear down there, and she could still smell us. And so she works her way down. And she got to the point where I told you, I knew she would hang up. Bears generally hang up there at that last bit. And what was about 25 yards or something?
27 yards.
Oh, she was even closer because she was on that log.
Correct.
So you end up coming to full draw, and she turns head on, and you were at full draw for a little while.
She was broadside for a split second. Leg back, it was kind of like, and then I was just, no. And so, yeah, I drew right about then. And I don't know how long I was at full draw, but it was a while.
And so she got spooky again, and she bailed. And about the time she bailed, is that black one showed up.
I want to rewind for just 1 second and say, at some point, no, I don't know if you're laughing, but at some point during this, we're having the conversation around, because those bears are hanging up at like 60 yards or something, and I say, that's a dead bear with a rifle. And, coming here, I had never filled a bear tag, and my priorities were around, like, I really wanted to fill a tag. Like, it wasn't about size, it wasn't about method, it was, like, obviously, there's hierarchies there, but I said something along the lines of, like, man, I've got 2 more nights, and I really want to go home with a punch tag, and I don't really, it won't, if I go home empty-handed or if I go home with a punch tag, there's a big difference there. So we were talking through that, and you were kind of like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, you mentioned
me off.
Yeah, you mentioned rifle. I'm like, oh no, we gotta make it happen here. He said, nobody's soiled this stand with a rifle.
I wasn't gonna sit next to you. I was gonna go in the drug stand or something and shoot the first thing that came across my bow. But yeah, I was just kind of doing that math. I kind of.
It's understandable though. I mean, you're a new hunter. You've only punched a handful of tags ever.
I've punched not a lot, but I've killed 10 or 12 whitetail bucks with the extra tag. I've been consistent with those, but no other. One elk, bunch of turkeys. So, but yeah, I was like, I need to fill a spring bear tag, and this was definitely my last hurrah for spring. I'm leaving on a fishing trip in a week, and I've already put a handful of days in the field, and I've had a lot of support from my wife and business and whatever else. And so it was kind of like, I've got last night, which I wanted you to shoot. And so okay, I have Monday night and Tuesday night, which I thought, according to the forecast, Tuesday night was supposed to pour rain. And so it was kind of like, all right, 2 more nights of this thing. And if it's a matter of those bears hanging up and having an opportunity to shoot and fill a tag and be done and, check the box, I was going to be very content to do that. So yeah, you started getting antsy then. Your demeanor changed. Yeah. I better go down and do my
hurry up.
My stomp rendition.
My client's losing interest.
It's been a day and a half in the stand. He's shivering.
He's ready to pull out the rifle.
He's out of clothes.
This sucks. He's out of clothes. So that black came over the top, and I could tell he was a little bit more excited about it. He worked his way down. I had the camera rolling. And I'm like, what are you doing? Get your bow. Yeah, He's right there. But you had it going on. You left your bow hung up with your hand on it, And then it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, he's freaking shivering like I'm shivering.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was running through my head more than almost anything else. And I'd shot a ton at 20 because I knew the yardages were going to be, like the baits were at 15 yards or whatever. And so I didn't shoot a ton beyond that. So I was like, okay, well, this bear, he's saying the bear's hanging up at this log that's about 27 yards. Got all this stuff going on in the back of my mind. I might just leave this bow here if I miss. And
that's helpful.
Yeah, totally. It's positive thinking.
Yeah, way to think that through.
And I'm shivering. My left foot's starting to do a little jig, like an uncontrollable jig. And I'd been, I don't know, however long I was drawn on that other bear. And then as soon as, like we said, as soon as you have the encounter over, you kind of have that adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
Like where then you start shivering. Like you kind of hold it together in the tense moment. And then you start shivering, and then that bear, like, almost right afterwards, like, oh, we're doing this again.
I'm wore out. Yeah, no, it was, it turned broadside there. I had the camera on it. You dropped the string, and it blew out of there. And I felt pretty confident in the shot. And immediately I saw your arrow sticking in the ground there. But when it rained, so all the brush is wet. It's foggy. And it wasn't really raining, was it?
Mm-mm.
But when it took off through that wet brush, I was like, this ain't going to be easy. I thought I heard it go down, but I never, that's why I was like, just sat there for a minute and just listening for the death moan, and I never did hear anything.
And we tried to watch the footage.
Yeah.
We talked through the shot a little bit. I felt like the yardage was right. The height, we both thought the height was perfect.
Thought the height was good.
And I thought it was just a little bit back. But so listening to that Clay Newcomb podcast, and I'd read this before about the middle of the middle idea. Like, okay, well, and he was slightly quartering away. Front leg, the front leg to us was forward. And so anyways, I kind of did aim middle of the middle towards, I aimed kind of at the opposite leg. And I think it was a little bit back. Like, that was my first thought. I was like, that was a little bit back, but I think that'll do the job. But it was not a sure, like, oh, that's it. High fives. And
Well, I felt pretty good. And when it blew out of there, it acted. I knew you didn't shoot it because, it acted hit hard. Gut shot. Any critter actually kind of looks like it's laboring a little bit. That thing was shitting and getting. So, yeah, we didn't give it 30 minutes. We needed to get on that because there was not going to be any blood. I just knew we weren't going to find blood. You're shooting a decent broadhead, three blade, and got your arrow. The arrow didn't look like it was like good lung blood, but I didn't smell no gut. And we immediately, I wasn't really looking for blood. I was looking for dirt on leaves.
yeah.
I knew we would see more of that than blood. Found a little bit of blood. Kind of had the right the right direction. And there were snow patches. And when we started hunting the first day, I was like, I can't believe there's still snow in here. And I said, how cool would it be to track the blood trail of bear across snow? How cool would it be to have pictures of a bear in snow? And sure enough, he hit one of those patches, and there wasn't shit for tracks. That snow was so hard.
I was so, like,
there was no blood.
I was so glad to have you there. I mean, A, because of your experience, but B, just to have somebody else, because if it was just me, because there was no, I mean, the amount of blood we ever found wouldn't have filled a thimble.
No, did we find 3 or 4 different spots?
Yeah, just a
just enough to tell you that you were in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it hit that snow. And again, we're not 30 minutes behind this thing. It hit that snow, and the snow was so hard, and just the way that it had been melting with all the dirt on it, and you really weren't finding. Believe it or not, it wasn't like the tracks just popped out. But what had happened though is he went down halfway across that snow patch and slid to the other end and piled up. We found him right at dark, right?
Yep.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
it was not immediately apparent that he was laying there.
But I guess I didn't put in the stock into what the need for you to have been successful with the bow at this point. The gravity of the situation didn't hit me until I was like, oh yeah, he missed last year. So he's probably happy.
I bet there's some relief there.
Yeah.
Huh, cool. Well, let's cut this thing up and go home. No, I that was a big relief for me. And there's that anxiety. I think anytime you shoot and you're tracking, like, just what's the end gonna be? And sometimes you feel better about it than others, and sometimes, like, that was just, I felt pretty good about it, especially seeing the blood, or the color of the blood, and kind of having your opinion on it. But at the same time, it was like, oh man, what's gonna happen here?
So that was a high back lung hit. You got both lungs, but it was high in the back of the lungs, and the cavity had blood in it. We found a little bit of blood, but it really drives home how difficult bears can be. That thing wasn't alive. I don't think he was alive 15 seconds after the shot.
Yeah.
He didn't go. He might have gone 100 yards from where you shot.
Because I remember seeing him. I got a glimpse of him bound through another alder patch, and it looked like he kind of cartwheeled, but I could just have made that up.
It's tough to imagine. It's tough to imagine what this country looks like, because it is like you'll have a 10-foot circle wide open, and then 50 yards or 50 feet of head-high brush, and another 10 spruce, stunted spruce, snow brush. I mean, it is a mess.
It's tons of fun to track bears in.
Oh my gosh, it's a mess. So yeah, it really drove home immediately. I was like, man, we are not going to find any blood. And it's foggy, it's misty. My thing was like, okay, there's some dirt here. I wasn't picking up tracks.
No.
There was a couple spots where I could tell it was overturned, but what I was picking up, his claws are picking up dirt.
Yep.
Some of those green leaves, he's running over, so you're seeing flecks of dirt.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something like you'd see with, when an elk runs or deer. That's what I was keyed in on, and it worked.
Yeah, that was enlightening to me for sure. I was so
we got him worked up, and got him on the snow. Took pictures on the snow. That was cool. Checked that box. Foggy, and I mean, we had headlamps on, and when you're so focused on what you're doing, by the time you get ready to go, you look up, there's no real skyline because everything's just black and fog. And I was like, well, we ain't far from the road, but this is a recipe for disaster. Because you walk around, you get tunnel vision, super tunnel vision with a flashlight or a headlamp, and I'm like, pretty sure the stand is that direction. So 100 yards doesn't sound like much, but it was nice to see the stand, and then you knew where you were at.
If you wouldn't have said anything, I would have thought you were some bushman. Like, you were just like, you walked straight to it. you nailed it. If you would have just, yeah, I totally knew where you were.
Did you hear that, Strohmeyer? I flat nailed navigation. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Your confidence, however, would be.
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's in this direction.
You asked me, did you mark the stand on your Onyx? I said, yep. Well, there it is.
Well, yeah, I saw that tree. I saw the down tree in the haze, and I was like, hey, I recognize that tree. And then I was like, yeah, there's not a lot of down trees around here. That one's but yeah, that was awesome. And so this morning, the grand plan was to, hey, it's raining.
I know.
The grand plan was, and is, we grabbed an extra stand and went where those bears were winding us the last few days, and put a stand about 80 yards above the bait. So we're not actually sitting over the bait tonight. We're going to surprise those bears as they come in and wind check, and bingo, we're going to be there.
Yep. Or you're going to Geronimo your way down.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. A guy could really sneak down there if there's one on. Is that snow?
That sounds like
hail or sleet. Yep.
We've got almost everything. We're just missing snow and the sun, and we'd have every weather.
It's awesome. I wish I had more batteries. We'd just sit here. No, we got to keep podcasting. We ain't going out there. Yeah, man, this tent.
Yeah.
Freaking love this tent.
I know. I'm a little disappointed with how much I love it because now I'm gonna have to lobby for one of these for the
12
family.
12 by 14. 12 by 14? Yeah, I think it's 12 by 14. Davis tents. I spent, man, when I was working in the backcountry, I pretty much lived in a wall tent for 4 years, probably 6 months, at least 6 months, 6 to 8 months, every year for 4 years. And so I have an opinion on wall tents.
Yeah.
And this has been awesome, man. I have set this up a bunch, and I bought the 3-dog. It's a 3-dog stove. I don't know if Davis Tents makes the stove, but they sell them, so I bought it all at the same time. And we've lit this fire once.
Yes.
Holds a fire good. Yeah, had a lot of adventures. And I've got writing. I don't know if I took a couple pictures of the tent. I don't know if you see it, but every hunt we do, we write on the wall a little snippet about the hunt. So when it's crappy, rainy, you got the stove going and you kind of reminisce.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah. Of course, you.
I when I saw the stinking wind, I thought that was like a reference to like just bad like,
wind.
Yeah, just like, well, man, you had nothing because of that, or what? You know, that happens a lot.
Little did you know, it's my Indian name that Strohmeyer gave me. I'm Stinking Wind, and you've put 2 and 2 together now. Sir Barks a lot.
I've got a good doctor I can refer you to.
It's working. It's all working. I just don't exhale enough.
Just gotta eat more cookies.
Yeah, no, this tent's been awesome. Yeah, I highly recommend them.
Yeah, this trip would have been, in any other tent, would have been pretty miserable.
Oh. Yeah, you gotta love the wood stove for sure. Let's talk about your ankle. What the hell is up with that?
It's like a loose tooth just kind of waiting to go.
Dude, that is nasty.
Isn't that impressive? Yeah, it's good. That's years of, let's see.
Did you break it?
I don't think so.
No kidding. That's not from being broke.
No?
So, like, if you were a chicken, they would have knocked you in the head early. Like, that one's got a bad foot.
Well, no, I rolled it. The first time I did it was in high school, but then the worst time was on a little mini bike. I got a 2-stroke Yamaha DT250. I think it was a 1977. I was going to tame the backcountry in that thing up here, and it tamed me quick.
Oh, you were an adult?
Yeah, oh yeah. This was 5, 6. This must have been 6 years ago.
I thought it was from like jiu-jitsu or something, getting put in leg moves.
That's part of it. I mean, it's a chronic thing, but now it's to a point where it's bad.
So can you use that as a weapon? Like
just like
you swing that thing
a
around?
Club.
Yeah, it's like a club, man.
No, but I can't really like those boots I have. Those are the Kenetrek Eversteps. They have a built-in shank.
You'd have to have them custom made,
which I sharpen.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it's actually. Oh, it's not supposed to come out.
It can.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. What's that for? Why do they make those boots?
For people like me.
Dude, that thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna take a picture of your ankle, but seriously, if you were a chicken, like my wife raising chickens,
yeah, I'd be.
She'd knock you in the head. You'd be like, that's not gonna stand at the feeder very well.
I actually just kind of hang it like that, so less people will call me to pack meat out. Like, well,
hey, can you got a bad ankle? Come over here and pack meat.
Hey, Gimpy, why don't you strap a trekking pole to that leg? And
so you don't. Bet it's really awkward when you're wearing high heels.
Oh man,
when you go out on the town.
Makes my calves look good. Takes attention away from my ankle.
So you can't really roll that thing. You could actually walk on it now. You can side
More or
hill.
less, yeah,
You
more-
could side hill with that thing.
It's got to be the right hill. But yeah, I need to get it fixed. I'm so stubborn, and for what I do for work, like I'm kind of invested in trying to fix it myself, and I've done.
What you do for work? You
Well-
have what people do. You have good employees.
Are
you
you saying I don't do anything for work?
Well, you're standing there once in a while when I walk in. Hey, what's going on, Kenny?
I paint stuff once in a while. Yeah.
I
figure
think
out-
you could get by. You've got good employees.
No, I'm saying because I can figure out the resources to fix it. Like I can put myself through physical therapy and have the discipline to
Gotcha.
do that and like see if I can rehab it myself.
Oh, I'm tracking. I'm
Yeah.
tracking.
Yeah. No, I can't get away. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
And it's a good thing that you stay active like that because your diet
It's
is
amazing.
not very impressive for your line of work.
It's pretty good. You
Those-
know?
Were there 2 dozen of those M&M cookies the size of that's
No, just 1 dozen.
that? You know what it looks like? You know what those cookies look like?
Heaven.
Those look like a cow patty. You know what a cow patty is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a full cow patty with M&Ms sprinkled on top, like it was like a magical cow.
I can see one sitting next to you as that's going to be your dessert from this,
Oh my gosh.
this hard work we put in for the day. No, we usually eat really well. Like that's part of the motivation for me with hunting is like we've tried to do the, eat what we kill and grow our vegetables, like do all that stuff. And we eat. So when I go on vacation, things go off the rails a little bit. But you made me feel a little bit bad about myself that first night when you passed out mid-sentence.
Dude, I was so tired. I told you, man, my work schedule, when I get some days off, once I start to sleep, man, I'm like, I don't even think I've rolled over once in the last 3 days. I am freaking sleeping hard.
Yeah, but you passed out, and I had to sit here and eat a cookie and drink a beer in the dark like a degenerate. Might as well.
My
have
name's Kenny Markwardt, and I have a problem.
Might as well have the Home Shopping Network on, sitting around
QVC.
without my pouty pants. Just, if I had a little more gumption, I would have tried to have you wake up and find me with just beer cans and cookie crumbs.
I did. You had the,
I think I had a beer and a half and felt bad about myself because you were sawing logs
getting sleep like
from getting out of your stand from your 3-hour sit. Got bored.
We're gonna kill a bear tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shoot that chocolate.
No?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. But there's been a couple of big bears, and I do think the way that the weather, the way that the snow is, I don't think these bears are up here. That's why I don't think the bears are up high in numbers right now.
Right.
Generally, we don't see any snow. Like all the patches of snow we see.
Yep.
I've never been up here hunting. Now, I put baits out with a little snow on the ground, but I've never been hunting. And we're seeing bears, but not the numbers that I have in the past. And I think that's just the growth is just behind up here.
Well, we meant to set these baits 5 days earlier than we did.
Yeah.
And so it seems to be getting more and more hit every day.
Well, and I told you, like, when we were driving up here on Saturday, I've never driven through snow
Yeah.
to get up here. And Jake told me today that, I think yesterday, that they got over a foot of snow up in the high country down where he's at. So, global warming.
That's right, man.
Speaking of which, do you want to make a statement? Do we have any? We want to talk social issues.
I don't know.
Because a lot of stuff has been solved in here
That's right.
without this unit going on, and would probably take your business down and my
We
little
could just
podcast.
grenade both. We could do this all the time.
In the way we'd be just podcasting to like 2 people that agreed with us, and you'd be out of a job. And
No way. I think the controversy. I think it could be good for your.
well, let's try it on
picked
your
up.
business then. Let's try it on your business.
What else? We had some stuff where you were like, man, we should be talking about this on the thing. I want to know what your prediction is for the evening.
Oh,
I
yeah.
asked you the first night.
Almost called it the first night.
You did.
I said I was going to see 2 bears and not shoot. You were going to see 1 and kill 1. And numbers were right.
Yep.
She just didn't shoot. I will make a prediction that I will lay $100 bill on the table right here if you're willing to bet against me. I'm going to bet that I'm cold.
I can guarantee you
Like,
that. Yeah, no,
I keep hearing John Barklow like in my head telling me what layers to put on. Well, John, I've got every effing layer that's in my bag.
I'm trying to give you some layers with these cookies, man. I keep telling you, the first thing I learned.
It's got to be mental. It was 39 in the truck with the truck thermometer.
Yeah.
But it's the humidity that's just driving it right through you, and that wind is nonstop.
Yeah.
So I had that little windbreaker vest on, like windstopper vest, and I was so freaking cold when I got back last night, and I'm trying to rip all the. It was midnight when we got back. And I'm
Yeah, it was.
pulling all these, and I had one thing that was hanging up. I'm like, what? Because they were all pullovers. I'm like, what the? So that was that vest. Damn it.
Well, it could have been the moonshine we had for dinner.
Yeah, that was tasty. I'm glad there was only that much
I know. Well, I think there's a little bit left. I left a little
for
taste
tonight. For tonight's celebration.
So yeah, so you've tried this before. You tried to hang a stand back where we're gonna sit,
But I
You
never
didn't
got to sit it.
Right.
Never got to sit it, and it's just gonna be fun because those bears are gonna be like, yeah, I know this sucker. I know
Yeah.
what he smells like, and they're gonna be standing under the stand when they're sniffing for us.
Yeah, because we watched those two. I'm sure they perch up on the.
On that stump,
Yeah,
and
that's right underneath us. Surprise.
it wasn't. I'd like to have been up the hill just a touch more because that wind will have to carry our scent right over the trail.
Yeah.
You know, which I think it will. It's a pretty stiff wind continually up here.
Down
Yeah.
pants. It's a down pants kind of wind.
Dude, well, I'm going to be talking to Barklow.
Just gotta quiet those zippers down.
Yeah.
It's Velcro, tear away.
In the zipper issue.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
maybe.
That's going to be in a private message.
Yeah,
Hey.
you probably shouldn't disclose any of this till your lawsuit gets filed. Oh. So what's the prediction? I want to know.
You know, I'm not a trophy hunter. There is nothing in me that's about a trophy hunter, but there's something about bears.
Yeah.
And maybe because I've had some big bears on these baits, I just have a tough time dropping a string on
Sure.
on an average bear. Yeah, and you mentioned ground shrinkage.
Oh,
Is that what we
man.
got?
I was,
That's just classic, man. It happens to everybody.
Yep. I was convinced that was a big bear. Like, not a big bear, but I was pretty surprised when I
Yeah.
walked up to it that it was not a big bear.
Yeah.
I'd do it all over again,
Oh yeah.
in a heartbeat. And then watching the footage, because we did get it all on film,
Yeah.
which is sweet. Watching the footage, I'm like, no, that's the bear he shot. I didn't he didn't find another smaller bear that happened to have an arrow hole. There
was one point where we watched. It might have been early on the chocolate one up there. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's an okay bear. And then when it swung around, I saw it lower and it had rained. I'm like, hey, apparently that wet brush must have shrunk it. There's a small one over here.
Went through the dryer. Yeah, for sure. No, I think that was like I said, I'd do it again, but I was pretty surprised.
I absolutely. You know, like I told you earlier, sitting in that stand cold, and I'm thinking, man, I don't want to be skinning a bear in the dark in the rain. And then when you get there, I'm like, yeah, I love being in the woods in the dark. You know, that's freaking awesome. Like marching out, headlamps.
Yeah.
it's intoxicating.
No, when there's cold beer waiting for you.
I was thinking more like hot coffee at that time. I wasn't thinking cold, anything cold.
I remember we were quite warm at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Felt a lot. Oh, the temperature must have came up like 30 degrees.
I'm gonna feel great tonight in my quilt.
You're digging that quilt, huh?
I love that quilt. Yeah, I think I told you before. I always slept very poorly in the woods because I'd end up like suffocated. I'd have a mummy bag and the thing would be over my face and I'd be upside down. And that quilt has changed my life.
Wow.
Down pants and a quilt and a dozen cookies, and I'm a pretty happy camper.
Is that an insulated pad?
It is. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, which actually the quilt's the Katabatic Gear 15 degree quilt, and there's two versions. I can't remember what's this one. This one zips closed, but the insulated, non-insulated pad. So I told you that pad deflated on me the other night, and I was laying.
Oh, that would
freezing.
Suck.
My.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that was brutal.
That
I was furious. It was one of those holes you couldn't find either. It was just like, I'm just doomed. I'm just gonna die here.
I just patch the whole thing.
I'm just gonna super glue everything.
It would be what's that? You know, the guy sprays the stuff on a screen door and makes a boat out of it.
Oh yeah. What is that stuff? I don't know.
Silly foam, silly, I don't know, whatever it is. Sill seal? No, Sill seal.
Flex seal.
Flex seal.
Bam. Still got it. Yeah, let's go kill you a bear tonight, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We need like 3 blocks of firewood off that monster tree I tipped over. The minute we got here, I was like, "We need firewood."
That one.
That one.
Oh.
We got it on the ground. I'm like, might have high mark there. Let's get something smaller. We don't have to split. So.
Man, people just bring me around and think I'm just gonna put stuff on my shoulders and carry it around.
Well, hell yeah. Now I feel a little bit worse. Now I feel a little bad now I see that ankle.
Just dragging it around.
Yep. Should have knocked that one in the head. It'll never stand at the feeder. What time is it?
It is 2:20.
What time should we hit it?
I'm just here to film, man.
Really? You're my film crew?
Yeah.
I'm your Donnie Vincent?
Yeah. You gotta wear more flannel and get more of a long, flowy locks.
Well, I can tuck some old man's beard up under my hat.
You gotta look off into the distance more.
I'm gonna do that.
Grow a beard?
No,
oh.
That's bad. I grow patches. Looks like somebody hit it with 2,4-D in spots. They have patches. I would not have made a good mountain man.
You had a good beard going at the end of September, during our September hunt. You were kind of grizzled. Yeah,
grizzled.
It fit you. You came alive. I saw a new side of you that trip.
Was I grunting a lot?
Out of one end. No, I was trying to explain this to Amanda, one of our coaches at the gym. It's like, you're such an easygoing, like I say this like, you're kind of a goofball, like in a good way. I mean, you love to laugh and have a good time. And I was trying to explain to her, like, when you get in the woods, you come alive in a different way. Like, you're very...
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was trying to explain it to her, and it's just hard to...
She's like, really? Him?
That goofball guy?
That guy?
See him with a beard. A beard and a chainsaw.
Yeah, he poses a lot. Leg up on a stump. Kind of like that, kind of like the rum. A little Captain Morgan. A little Captain in him.
That's right. That's right. Well,
let's do it.
I think we should, man.
All right. Well, maybe we'll jump on here this evening at midnight and recap, because you're headed out tomorrow, and I'm going to go pick my little dude up.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him up here with his rifle and see if he can't. So I got to get her done tonight, because this will be my last one.
Does that change your standards at all?
I don't know. Just got to feel it. I'm going to look at that. But you know what? Honestly, sometimes checkmate, no matter the size of the critter, but when I like calling elk, right, or or doing something with deer, like that buck last year. I didn't end up getting them, but when you make the right moves,
yeah, for sure,
checkmate. It's like there is some satisfaction in that.
I think not the story so much, but the memory, the whatever if we walked up here and there's a giant bear sitting in camp, you jumped out of the truck and shot, like, that'd be a pretty cool story, I guess. But it'd be different.
Like the bull last year.
Yeah.
That was a great bull, but the thing that I enjoy when somebody asks me about it is telling them how we did it.
Yeah.
How we had to get to that spot.
Yep.
We beat feet, never called, and he could hear us.
Yeah.
And I knew it was pissing him off. I knew he could hear us. And by the time he gets there, he's pissed. And we had never called.
No, that was great. That was like a systematic.
Yeah. And so, regardless, whether he was a raghorn or a 320 bull, checkmate.
Yeah. Yeah, so tonight, does that...
Checkmate.
Just you figuring this
We'll
out?
see.
If there's some, 4 or 5 year old bear paws up on the root ball.
If I see Frank the Tank, you better be fast with the camera. I'm gonna be. Oh, I already did miss one shot though.
Oh yeah, your warm up one.
Yeah, my warm up shot.
That's why I'm warm up.
No, that's.
I don't want that going through my head.
No, it was. I thought that little chocolate was gonna come right under that tree, and it would have been like a 5-yard shot. So after it didn't happen, I thought, can I make that shot? So I drew a couple of times.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
I drew a couple of times, see if I could make that angle. And I went to snap my arrow back on the string and blink, shoot.
First arrow.
Yeah.
Released.
All right.
We'll be back on here with some beers and we can make some.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Say some things we regret.
That's why this is not a live show. All right. Roger out. And it is. I'll bet it freezes tonight. If it clears off, it freezes.
Yeah. It was frosty. That was a good old fashioned suffer sit.
Yeah. Can't wait for whitetail season.
I actually was getting excited about that I was like, you know what? I know where I'm going to put some stanzas this year.
Well, you think you're going to do the tree stand thing?
I think I am.
It takes a certain person for sure.
I'm probably going to keep going to the same spot I have been.
That poor kids spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really good spot, and then some dude moved in. Some old guy moved in.
But I was pulling a deer out of there one evening and walked right in front of the camera, and I know he's got a picture of me on his wall. This guy. No, I think I will.
It takes a certain person. The thing like moving the tree stand today.
Yeah.
Is that today? It is kind of like a chess match, right? Especially with whitetail.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm not good at it, but that's kind of what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And then standing in them when it rains, and then it snows.
Yep.
And then the wind blows.
Uh-huh.
And then the fog moves in.
Uh-huh.
And then sun.
It got nice.
And then rain. And then snow. That's really what makes tree stand hunting fun.
Yeah. No, I was thinking today about like all my favorite climbing trees. Like this is just like we really don't grow up. We just get more expensive hobbies to like express the same things.
Yeah.
Playing around in the woods, climbing trees,
Sneaking
shooting
around the
stuff.
swamp. Yep.
Sharpening things. Yeah.
Well, I wish that we hadn't gone in. I'm learning slowly, but we shouldn't have gone in until about 6. It would have made the sit better. But we went in pretty early. We were in the tree by 4.
I think so, yeah. I think we've done that about every day.
Well, and then when we were leaving camp, you look across the valley, and it was black death rolling in. And I was like, maybe we should just hang and let this blow over.
Nope.
And then it just starts hammering on the ride over. And then we where we stopped, we're getting our packs out, and it's thundering.
Yep.
And rain and sleet. the whole way in.
Yep.
It's friggin' miserable.
Yeah, it didn't stop until
Till I tapped out and like, I am so freaking wet and cold. My arms were wet all the way through like 14 layers of clothes to the arms and my core. Frick, I was just cold.
Well, we both made the decision to not wear rain jackets because we were perched right over the trail.
Yeah.
We wanted to be stealth, and turns out
it was a camera. It was our undoing.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think he heard it. He didn't react to it, but we had that little chocolate bear, the resident chocolate bear. He showed up right towards the end there, and he came out, and the wind was swirling.
It was.
It hadn't swirled all the last 3 days. It swirled. He got a little nose of us, and the camera made some weird sound, and
he didn't make it quite to the marshmallow trail.
yeah, we threw a couple marshmallows out there. So yeah, you ranged the other tree stand, right? We were 70 yards above.
Yeah.
Basically above the bait. and it would have worked had the wind been straight like it had been, you know.
Yeah.
He came out right where we figured, and I wasn't going to shoot him. He'd be a good bear for Elijah. I'm pretty much done. I'm done for this week. I'll go get Elijah, and he'll bring his rifle up and see if he can't fill a bear tag.
I think you will. I think that bear's been pretty patternable. Your Hail Mary plan today.
Oh, that's right. I was the
Doug Flutie of
the Doug Flutie of bear hunting. Like, let's set the stand. Let's not set the bait. Let's set 70 yards above the bait.
This is gonna be.
That'll be a good idea.
This is what are they expecting us to do? I was hoping
They'll never see it coming.
I was hoping to get this on film. The look on your face when some tank of a bear came out and you looked back at me like it worked.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna look back at you. As I thought about that, because right now the bears just aren't here. You know, I mentioned earlier, we're still so far behind. This weather's just ridiculous. They're just not here in the numbers that they generally are. So I was thinking, man, I know this is Frank's route. I would have killed him last year, I think, had I got to sit that stand. So yeah, I was thinking, man, if Frank comes through there, Kenny better not move a muscle. I don't give a crap about the video.
Yeah.
We're gonna put something sharp through Frank's lung cavity. You know,
Wow.
That's something I've been wrestling with. I'll be honest with you. Since the first day, I don't think Frank's in the area. I just don't. But I got to thinking, you know, when I take Elijah, he's been up here before with his rifle, and it's all good, man. It's awesome. But Frank has been on my camera for the last 4 years, and I feel like I've watched him fill out. When I first saw him, he was a big, tall, lanky bugger, and now he's a bruiser. You know, he's filled out. And I thought, man, how would I feel if Elijah shot him, you know, with a rifle? And I'll be honest with you, it just doesn't seem fitting.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, he's a little kid. He isn't going to appreciate a true behemoth like that. And I mean, you sit up 100 yards from bait, you can kill anything with a rifle, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And there's them bears coming in 60, 70, 80 yards above the bait, and they come down.
Yep.
It's not really a challenge with a rifle. Sounds selfish, but I think it'll be like, no, that one's not big enough, Lige.
No, you just got to pull the camera out of your pocket.
That's a grizzly.
You got to hit the old on button as you pull it out.
Yeah, can't shoot that one, bud.
Sorry. Yeah, that's parenting in a nutshell, I guess.
Well, hope it doesn't come to that. When I see Frank, Elijah will be sleeping. Typically, is what he's doing. He's sleeping in the tree stand. I'll throw sticks at him. Frank, it's good finally to meet you, but
Run fast, run far.
No, I think you got to get the marshmallow wrist rocket thing going. I think that's how you lure. I think that's how you get those bears to come in that last 10 yards.
I'm not sure that's legal. Projectile, marshmallow. Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, what Kenny's referring to is we were 70 yards above the bait. That's where the bears have been coming in the wind, the bait before they come down. So we strategically threw a few marshmallows out there to stop said bear on their way to the bait.
Yeah, little.
Yeah. And then got to hear your first wolf howl.
Yeah, which was weird. It was a weird, kind of eerie sound.
Yeah. Just a long, lonesome.
Yeah.
Some guys can do it. It really doesn't take much, and they'll answer your back. But I didn't attempt it.
Well, do you think there was any, so the guy we saw that we know,
No.
that wasn't him?
No, but that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He's out scouting. Yeah. Wolfers. Like, glad they're around. Doesn't interest me. But glad they're around. That's the Foundation for Wildlife Management. Looked that episode up. I don't know how many episodes ago it was, but looked that one up, and that is a group here at Sandpoint that encourages pursuing wolves. So works out well for them, and it works out for the wolf hunters, and it works out well for sportsmen. I think every elk hunter in Idaho, everybody that elk hunts Idaho ought to be a member for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, tonight was just, I feel like sometimes you feel like you got to put in that, you can't, that thing always runs through your mind of like, you can't kill them from camp.
Yep.
Maybe we'll sit here and this will pay off and the suffering will be worth it, but I think we just got cold.
Well, I should have grabbed my rain jacket that first big downpour.
Yeah.
And threw it on because after that I was just soaked to the bone. Muscled it out as far as I could.
I was actually warm other than my feet, but I had a pair of synthetic long johns, a pair of wool long johns, my Sitka Traverse or Timberline pants, down pants, rain pants.
Are
on
you
the bottom.
serious?
Yes. On the top, I had my Sitka.
You didn't have to take a piss, did you?
I did. I pulled it off.
Pulled it off?
Yeah.
Must have been damn cold.
It just broke right off.
You mean you managed?
And then up top, I had the Sitka midweight t-shirt, the Sitka heavyweight t-shirt, or hoodie, and I had a down vest, a down jacket, and my jacket with them up. So I was toasty warm other than my feet.
You obviously weren't, you didn't have a tag. You didn't have to draw a bow.
No, I was, I couldn't draw a camera though.
Oh, that didn't work out.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, it was good, So what do we hunt? This is the third day, fourth day?
Third day.
Third day. I didn't realize, like I said earlier, I didn't realize it was like redemption time for you.
Yeah.
But that's super cool. And now let's talk a little bit. You got a recurve, and you were all gung ho this winter.
I don't know about that.
You were fired up. You and Matt were fired up. Matt's been shooting, actually.
Yeah.
He's been sending me pictures. He's shooting pretty good.
I tried.
What, once?
Yeah, I was going to break that bow in half. You said
I thought you never did get another bow?
No, I never got another bow.
They still make them. They still sell them,
They do, you're right. Well, I got that bow figured out. Pete set it up for me. Shot it at your house, and we both came to the conclusion that was not a good setup for me. So I got rid of it, and then I went to Mexico, and then the world kind of spiraled out of control. And
That's right. You
I had to save my business.
did you? Yeah, you. Did you bring COVID back to the United States? Was that you?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. We flew
Nice work.
Yeah, hey man. You know, just nothing like a little social experiment to see what people are made of.
I didn't. Yeah.
No, when we were down there, we were leaving. It was our last day, and some guy says, "So this coronavirus thing, I think it's going to be a thing." And I remember rolling my eyes and be like, "Yeah, whatever, buddy. See ya." And turns out things got weird like a week after we got back. So that's why. So long story short, that's why I didn't go crazy.
Oh, so the only reason
hole.
you're not hunting with a recurve is because the world had a pandemic.
Blame COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've already been on the show. This will be the third time being on here in the Stickbow Chronicles, and I'm gonna have to cut you off. I mean, it's just like I thought I was turning you, but
So I hit one animal with a bow. Now
Yeah.
I gotta up the ante a little bit.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's easy.
No, I will. I would like to. For all the reasons we've talked about.
Don't blow smoke up my ass. If you want to order a bow tomorrow, then I'll buy it. But
I would like to. I think it'd be great. I wasn't real interested. In
all right,
just
I'm muting you. I'm muting you.
out.
I just smoke up my ass.
Well, it's better going out than in than out at this point.
No, that's yeah. You did come over and you shot that. What was it, a grizzly? No, Magnum.
Yep.
Kodiak Magnum, and
Yep.
you got like a 31-inch power stroke there.
That's right.
Yeah, that was like that was a mismatch.
I think I got to about 29 and felt like the next two were gonna be.
Yeah, it was gaining like 11 pounds per inch.
I actually thought that it was gonna break. Like we both were like, I said, "Is this gonna break if I keep yanking?"
I don't think so. Because I had safety glasses on.
Watching from outside. So that was the plan. I was gonna get the Samick.
Samick Sage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what Matt got, and just
I went and dropped arrows off at Matt's house during the COVID thing. I had dropped them off in his driveway. Oh, because he's got some underlying factors, right? You couldn't have contact with the outside. His family couldn't. Anyways, yeah, so he was sending me pictures. He was texting me pictures. He was shooting his block, and he was having fun getting her dialed in.
yeah.
And Matt has been on the podcast as well. Matt Haig, he's the Idaho Department of Fish and Game Conservation Officer.
Yeah, good dude.
Yep.
You'll get me once. Actually, Travis.
No.
He got pretty because Matt got one, or I got one, Matt got one, and then all of a sudden Travis was like, "All right, tell me which one I should."
I would rough Travis up. I would rough Travis up.
I think he's in.
No way.
Well, all he needs is a nudge. That's what I've always said about Travis.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Okay. You think Travis would get in the barrel? Let's talk about our plan.
I wonder if he'll listen this far into this episode.
He better.
So the rule was what? It was going to be a hazing thing. You had to get.
Well, yeah, it was initiation.
Yeah.
You want to come up to bear camp? Here's what Kenny had to do.
Yep.
Air quotes.
Yep.
Get in the bait barrel, and we'll get a clean barrel. It's not going to be a nasty barrel.
Yep.
And put the lid on.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have safe words, right? Pineapple juice. And you could have a radio.
Yep.
And let the bears come in. Just like poke marshmallows out or something. And maybe get rolled around a little bit.
Yeah. We just got to make sure it's chained up real good.
Yeah. But you think Travis would do it, eh? I think it would be fantastic. I think it'd be an adventure.
I think so too. And in fact, today I think we both decided that being in the barrel was better.
Was better to be
was
outside.
a better idea than being in the stand.
Yeah, the barrels I create are they just have 1 3/4 holes on the side.
There's like 6 inch and 3/4 holes, and I use 3-way Omelane. What is it? Corn, rolled oats, and barley and molasses, so that the bears, and it's cabled to an eye on the top, so the bears roll it around to get the grain out. And how much fun would that be? You hear something coming, blowing, and pretty soon you see a nose come by the barrel. It'd just be, yeah.
Just
good times.
poke those marshmallows out the hole.
Well, you poke them in the nose. Yeah. That's it. That's it, Travis. You got to feed a bear a marshmallow before you can actually be initiated into
I did it.
bear camp. Yeah. Kenny did it.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Their breath stinks, man. That was tough. It's tough being that close.
Yeah, that wasn't the nose. Yeah. But, yep. Had wolf howling when we got out of the stand tonight. I don't know what his deal was, but he was kind of howling up a storm down there.
Yeah.
He probably was not as far as we thought, to be honest with you. He's right on that. I think he was right on that ridge. Although I initially pointed 180 degrees wrong.
Oh, so you're okay, good.
Oh no, I was way off.
That couldn't have been a better right on cue. Where was he?
Oh, I know it. Well, that's something I learned as my hearing starts to wane. That's a good one for locating bulls. When you start to hear a bugle, turn your head, because for me, I'm always thinking it's where I'm pointing. My nose is pointed.
Yeah.
But as you turn your head, you're getting different angles on it. Immediately turn your head, and it helps me locate way better.
That's good. Good tip.
Yeah, well, I don't know if everybody needs it, but like the last episode with Bryce Lamley, 80s rock, Rush, AC/DC, plays a toll, takes a toll. What else we got to touch on before we shut her down?
Yeah. No statements. I think that's. I can't wait to see what's next. What we're gonna come back to.
How are we gonna top this?
Yeah. What the next thing that'll be in the headlines next week? I feel like the murder hornets really got the short end of the stick. They didn't get nearly the time that they should have.
I agree, and that brings up the bumblebees that were flying around today. I mean, you can see your breath. It's snowing.
Uh-huh.
And you hear these bumblebees coming by, and then it dawns on me, well, they do kind of have a fur coat.
Mm-hmm.
So
today was one of those days that really made you realize why where we hunt is not as popular. It's not exactly on the map for.
No, even getting into that new stand, I couldn't believe I didn't rip my pants.
Yeah.
How many times freaking climbing over that deadfall and those nasty stobs sticking out all the time, pushing through brush. It's just a crap hole, And I was thinking, like last night, when we talked this morning and we were only 100 yards, we figured 100 yards from that bait barrel.
Yeah.
And we were like, how are we going to get there? I don't think that's embarrassing to say. People don't freaking realize what it's like down there. I mean, it's like hell. I've never been to hell, but I'm pretty sure it's wet brush and deadfall and
7 seasons in an hour.
In an hour, yeah.
And bees.
Bees.
And wolves howling.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Eagle and ravens must have found your kill last night.
Yeah. Feeding bears, feeding eagles.
Yeah, you love America.
I am
feeding eagles.
Patriot.
True patriot right there.
That's right.
There's dead calm. Listen to it out there.
I know.
That's the first time. It is dead calm out there. It's ominous.
Listen for wolves.
Weird.
Go get in the barrel and listen for wolves.
Well,
Well, I'm looking forward to Elijah getting up here and.
Yeah, it's too bad you got to skedaddle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm not looking forward to is a 11 p.m. pack out with a 13-year-old. I actually was thinking of that walking out tonight when I was walking out of there. I was like, I might quit hunting a little early.
Yeah.
With him because, Dad, what's that? Dad, what's that? Dad, as we're in the middle of the crap hole down there, trying to skin a bear.
Yeah.
So I might just call you. Hey, Kenny, come on up quickly.
I think I'm booked up. I think my packing service.
What?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, and it was booked up fast. These are live, right? No, that'll be good. I'm looking. Actually, I think I've said this to you before, but like seeing you and him kind of go through the early stage of this is pretty exciting for me to see what that looks like for my boy
For
being 6.
Yours coming up.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is fun. It's really fun to do with Elijah. You know, I started when he was probably 7 or 8, doing a bait. You know, just the fact that they get to go in, you know, and it's you check the camera, you know, you see bear poop. Yeah, a blast. And did I ever show you that video when he shoots his bear?
Yeah.
His first bear.
That's
That
great.
is priceless.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was that up here?
No, that was another spot I used to bait. I get in there way earlier. You get in there in like May. Well, should we wrap it?
Yeah. I think I'll have that last beer here.
Yep. All right. Well, super cool, man. Redemption.
Yeah. Thanks for having me up. I probably told you this a bunch, but I appreciate you letting me participate with this.
Oh, it's fun for me. It's fun for me to experience it through some new perspective. So, yeah. All right, man. Till the next adventure.
Yeah.
Roger
Thanks.
out.